The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Gideon Block, a paladin of Daga, bringing her justice to the wilds of Ritoya.
I'm Konnor Shenold, and I play Konnor with a K, the Kobold sorcerer who's finally out of the bag.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play Zonimus Dinar, a roguish warlock controlling his fate with chaos.
I'm Kiri Hester, and I play Poppy Tealeaf, a highborn halfling druid who has forsaken her family for the call of the frontier.
I'm Brooke Bullock, and I play Mokrin Stoneshaper, a young dwarf sorcerer wielding his arcane gifts to delve into the mysteries of the wilderness.
And I'm Ash King, your dungeon master. Join us now for Tales from the Callban Frontier. In the aftermath of the battle with Wiley's forces, you are slowly beginning to get your bearings back. Zonimus, you had sat down and were speaking with Iopix as he kind of rested, sitting up and speaking of bound by blood unbound. It would be better if the dragons were still assisting us.
My friend, do you know who Seraphina is?
Seraphina. His eyes slowly widen. The daughter of the one who built the airships. Cimarron had an engineer who built and maintained his airships, the original design.
So she could build another one.
Much like the one where you and I met.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mokrin looks over at Gideon and mouths the words, Jasper. Is Jasper gonna be safe?
Oh, I think Jasper's was fine. He's hidden. I'm not worried about Jasper. Right now,
I'm
worried about ourselves. But do I get to tie up this guy?
Sure.
Okay.
Tis just a thug.
Go ahead and give me a dex check at advantage.
22.
22? All right. Yeah, you tie this guy up in knots. What good?
Konnor did great work there. I wish we could have done more to take this guy down. But now you know what Smokes is like. It's your first time to run into him.
A real charm, ain't he?
I really don't like that guy.
Oh, there's a list of people who don't like that guy. You've just joined it.
There's more people on that list than off that list.
Welcome to the club.
I get my own little
Is
membership
anybody
card.
under 10?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm the one.
Yeah,
You're under 10 too?
7.
But I think we're also going to maybe take a...
I know, but I'm also paranoid. You're under 10? How far are you under 10?
I'm at 1 exactly.
You're at 1, you're at 1.
11.
You're at 11, you're at 7.
What are you at? No,
I'm at 12.
That's what
I'm the healthiest of the group!
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to... Everybody who's at under 10 is going to get a healing word. Gideon, your healing word is perseverance. You know, they kept knocking you down and you kept getting back up. You get 6 hit points.
Thank you. Thank you, Poppy.
Konnor, your word is... You know what? Your word is ingenuity. You were thinking outside the box. You were getting all kinds of stuff done. You also get 6 hit points.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry I couldn't keep him from stopping you. And if that guilt affects my spell, you only get 4.
I'm not even going to write it down. Thank you, Pop.
Also, hopefully nothing else bad happens until I go to... because I'm out of... That's it. I carousel cantrips until I wake up in the morning.
I am not out of spell slots. I am going to cast Find Steed.
All right.
I am going to call upon Thunderstep to return. And as she does, she rides up to me. I am going to mount her, and I am going to ride into the wilderness for a bit.
Okay.
Where's he going?
I'm really.
I think he
Gideon
feels
needs
real.
time.
Yeah, I think he just needs
Okay,
a little.
but we don't have time. Smokes just ran off with a crystal and the Iopix feather.
And you know what? That horse he was on looked real fast. I don't know if we could catch up to him. I think it's gonna be a just. Here, let me give you a little history. I read books. I know history. So one of the advantages of humanity and things similar to it is our ability to just slowly plod along behind something and eventually catch up to it. So I think that's going to be our only option right now. I think everybody's feeling real bad. Everybody needs a shower. I can smell all of you, and you smell awful. Iopix will give us the best guidance that he can, and he needs to honestly go probably hang out with his Pegasi, make sure everybody's good.
You
on that
look
front.
over and you see him like leaning like on
there we go.
Zonimus.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We just need
Head
to make
resting
sure
on your shoulder.
that he is safe, and I imagine that at this point, nobody's really looking for him.
Okay, but we need to get on it. We need to figure out our plan and figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out the plan after we have something to eat. I'm real hungry.
Malcolm puts a hand on Konnor's like,
Konnor, I can tell now. I used to be the first time we ran into this guy, I was the same way. In fact, if you haven't heard the story about mashed potatoes, it's hilarious. I can look back on it now. But I know it doesn't seem right, but Gideon and Zonimus helped me see that we just need to find a way to circle back around on this guy later. Trust me.
and there's a deep edge on Moran's voice.
We're going to get him, and we're going to make him pay. But right now, we need to learn what we can from Iopix. So we got all the ways to make this come due when we see Wiley again.
That's fine for tonight, but he's got Iopix's feather. That's the key to whatever, the error thing. How long has it been since Wiley's been out? Who's to say he hasn't gotten other keys from other guardians?
Well, I imagine in Iopix, correct me if I'm wrong, Iopix might have been the most difficult to acquire, so it's highly likely that he may already have the other ones.
Then that's not good. We need to catch up to him
But he
somehow,
might have been.
some way. Zonimus, what do you know about Wiley? Where could he be hanging out?
So, backing up 10 minutes, Zonimus is still in deep conversation with Iopix and hasn't really
Right.
acknowledged any of the stuff that you guys were talking about.
Right.
And he says, all your Pegasus are free.
Good.
You ready to fly again?
Give me a moment. I like it right here.
I like it right here, too.
Moran, Konnor, let's go over and check on the prisoner. Let's... They need a moment.
And there were tents still set up, correct? Here, this was a camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's actually a place to rest. There's
Yeah.
a place to rest if we need to rest.
So we're gonna go, and the small squad is gonna get our prisoner and just drag him over to the campsite.
Moran actually knows what you're talking about. He's like, oh, okay.
And he's gonna go, and there's like some bodies on the fringe, a couple snipers and stuff. He's gonna go, and we'll start dragging those guys back toward the center or whatever, so we can, check them all out with stuff.
I mean, honestly, I do leave it at that when he says he likes it here, and I say I do too. I'm trying to get a feel of, is he letting go, is he slipping away? You know, my friends can help you stand back up.
Yeah. I could probably stand.
Can you walk?
Maybe.
Can you keep pushing? Because it's not in here. I'll put my hand on his chest, but not on the wound. Mm-hmm. But it still exists.
Yeah. I feel like I can fight for it. I can fight to stay, but I would slow you down.
You told us you hadn't heard from the others in hundreds of years.
We usually keep to ourselves. It's been
Some,
quite some time since we've been all together.
sure some of them were stronger than you, and I'm sure you were the strongest among some of them.
We all have our own strengths. I would wager that Strom is physically the strongest, being a giant. But if something has happened to them, it is likely they're either facing the same fate as I or have already succumbed.
Okay, you need to give yourself your own medicine, and you've got this Pegasus to take care of. If you were strong enough to just jump on one and go right now, which direction would you go? Which would you seek out first?
Strom would be the closest. He remains around the Lake of Tears to the south. It will take you a couple of weeks to get there.
And how would he know us from an enemy?
Iopix stretches forth his hand, and the magic kind of wavers a little bit. It seems as though he's kind of struggling to tap into that, but he summons forth the bow, and he passes it to you.
I'm going to put my hand on it, but not take it yet. Aren't you going to need this?
I'll be fine.
Oh.
You need it more. Bring it back to me when you're done.
I promise.
Hold on.
Let me help you over to where we're making camp. My friends can do everything they can for you. Can you bring Whirlwind back when you're ready?
Was it? Yeah, Whirlwind hasn't actually gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just hanging out.
Whirlwind's just kind of chilling. So it seems the two of them are kind of bound by the same magics. Mm-hmm. So this weakening that you see in Iopix is also kind of starting to happen to Whirlwind as well.
Whirlwind is also 5,000 years old.
So I'll help him out, motion Whirlwind over and start. Like I've now started to pay attention, especially after his words of why Coyote is and isn't, but is helping us. I start paying attention to my friends and what they're doing, and I help them over to the rest of the group and notice and understand that Gideon is not currently present, but I have no worries about that at all, knowing that he'll be here when he needs to be here. Who's cooking?
Well, Mr. Iopix. All the dwarves know the story of the princess and how she's forging under the earth and showing us the way, but not involved. You know, the promise. We all know about that. But
Hi.
you mentioned if the dragons could come back. Can you tell me anything about that?
Yes, that is something that you probably wouldn't know. Not many are aware of it, but in the ancient times, my time, the dragons were much more active. They were charged by the gods to be the protectors of creation. The gods could not interfere, but the dragons could defend. Over the years, their number has dwindled. Some have been killed in battle, some hiding away, because slowly but surely the world has grown away from the need for them.
Are you telling me there were more than just the Mighty Nine?
No, just the 9.
Oh, okay.
Argentum was the first, the great Platinum. He fell in battle to Serpentarius, god of the Yuan-Ti. Then there was Nightmare, who fought the Mind Eater. He sacrificed himself so that the Mind Eater would not destroy the people.
Moran is enthralled.
And then, of course, his beloved mate Dreamweaver. Upon the loss of Nightmare, she went away. No one quite knows what happened. The others have faded into obscurity, hiding themselves away, refusing to get into the affairs of mortals unless they're needed.
Why is it out here?
Thundercrack?
Yeah, everybody knows about Thundercrack out here.
Oh, Thundercrack.
Yeah. Why do they persist?
Well, who do you think made me a guardian?
There's a literal clunk as Moran's jaw unhinges.
I met her once, long ago, when she entrusted the feather to me.
Just you or the others as well?
The others. She entrusted a key to each of us.
Just because I'm trying to get a nice fleshed out picture in my mind. Dreamweaver, what did she look like?
Copper in color.
Moran can't help it. He's like mumbling softly to himself. We got Platinum, and then Nightmare's the Mighty Black, and then Dreamweaver is Copper. Then Thundercrack, Brass Dragon. Kind of look over at Konnor.
You would be right.
How much mythos is there with dwarves and dragons? Because they're mostly focused on technology. Mm-hmm. So
for a dwarf, and for basically for anybody out east, nobody's really seen a dragon.
Right.
in
A very long.
a very long time. It's been at least 5,000 years since
People in the West have even seen one.
people in the West have really even laid
and lived
eyes
to tell
on.
about it.
Yeah, but yet Thundercrack's the one that persists. Like, and that's mostly because which group would you say is keeping that story alive? Is it the orcs? Is it the ghost elves? Is it?
It's a combination of the orcs and the elves are
Okay.
the ones who kind of distribute the mythos, because for them, Thundercrack is very much a guardian and a sacred figure.
Yes, yes.
It's almost to the point of worship, but not really.
Right. Oh, this is so good.
So, Gideon, you have ridden off by yourself.
I have. I go far enough to where I can't see the campsite anymore. I want to be out in the wilderness to where I just see the stars and the moons. And once I do, I stop and I get off Thunderstep and I pat her on the head. And I walk a little ways and I fall to my knees. I just say, "My lady, I can't do this anymore. I'm so tired. I don't know where to go anymore. He keeps coming, we keep trying, and even with all our abilities, we can't stop him. I don't know what to do."
You get 3 words. Follow the sun.
Poppy gave me the word of perseverance, and I didn't really know what that word meant until I got your blessing. To be a champion of the gods is something that means a lot to me. And you sent me friends, gifts like Thunderstep. I will persevere. I will keep moving forward. I will follow the sun. I just ask for any help that you can give me as me and my friends try and stop this evil from washing its filth across this land that I love so much. And I step up, and as I do, I can feel Thunderstep walk over to me. And I mount her and get back to camp, realizing where everybody is back, and go into the tent. And I say, "Friends, we got a job to do. So, what's next?"
Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Michael Cross. So great to have a moment to talk with you during this mid-show break. First off, I want to invite you all to join us as Patreon members. The money we raise helps us pay for things like the music and sound effects you hear on the show, as well as money to go to events and make new fans. When you become a Patreon member, you get our episodes 4 days early, bonus content, access to our Discord server, and full versions of our roundtable discussions. You'll be joining other fans like Scott Wise, Don Mills, Heath Mormon, and the Lady Kate. So join us right now at patreon.com/reddirtdnd. Another way to support us is by getting your very own Red Dirt merchandise. You can find things like hats, hoodies, mugs, and t-shirts. Just click on the merch tab at reddirtdnd.com or reddirtrpg.com. Since 2020, the Red Dirt D&D podcast has been close to another Oklahoma actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, D20 to Curtain. And me personally, I've had a chance to work on stage with some of the actors on the show. So when you get done with this episode, you should check them out.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons & Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
If you're looking for more content, make sure to check out our YouTube page with Mysteries of Beatrix live every Wednesday. keys from the Golden Vault from the Red Dirt Outlaws dropping every Tuesday at noon, and plausible deniability every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So come check it out at youtube.com/@RedDirtRPG or search for Red Dirt RPG on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you. Find us on social media at Red Dirt RPG. You can also get in touch with us through our website at reddirtrpg.com. In the meantime, make sure and subscribe to this podcast and leave a comment on your favorite podcatcher so others can find us. All right, I think that's everything I need to tell you. Right now, let's head back to Red Dirt D&D.
The next morning dawns. You have all slept, rested. Xanimous, I would say, you probably awaken, look over to Iopix. He's still breathing, so he still seems to be fighting to hold on. But it is very strange. He is, a full-blooded elf, but he actually closed his eyes and slept. But he awakens and kind of stretches a bit, gets up to go outside, check on Whirlwind, but they both seem to be moving a little slower than what you had seen before. Not as much vigor to their movements.
I'm gonna pick up the bow and start to walk out of the tent and catch up with them, but I'm not, because as I'm seeing this wound take him down and this year's age catch up with him, I'm just gripping this bow tight in my hand and is seething against Wiley. So I'm just gonna let him have his moment with his trusty friend Whirlwind. I'll go around and gently tapping everybody's foot, waking them up.
And you do see the orc that you so lovingly tied up and captured last night. He's up too.
Yeah, okay. It's time to do some work here. First off, I tell everybody, I went out into the wilds and did a little praying, and I got a message back from Daga to follow the sun. So, just
follow the sun. You think that means go west?
It means go west. I just don't know from there. So, I look over at the orc and I say, "What's west of here?"
The river.
And?
The desert.
Yeah. First off, let's go ahead and cast a Zone of Truth.
Zone of Truth, and that is a wisdom save?
That is a charisma.
Charisma. 13.
That fails.
That's a fail? All right.
So, we're looking for your boss's headquarters. Where are they located?
Well, ever since Boss Man, Smokes, he met up with a couple of fascinating fellas. Some guy all dressed in rags. Look real fancy. Not big city fancy, but wizard fancy. Now, that would be Fortunato.
What does filler look like? What species? What hair color?
Don't know. Always wore a hood. Couldn't see his face. And then there's Serafina. She's a pretty one. A lot of the boys are trying to get in her good graces, but she wouldn't have none of it.
Was she on fire?
No.
Different than Wiley is what I'm asking.
Ain't nobody look like Wiley.
Okay, good to know.
Where were you going to take this Pegasus and Elf?
Well, Wiley wanted the Pegasus so we could use them to get around quickly. He got some sort of mojo. Turned them into those big black ones with the fire. Right excited about that, but, well, those days are over.
And where were you supposed to go?
Well, once we caught him, Wiley said he was going to take us to the Mesa.
And where's that?
He seems to be intentionally trying to keep quiet.
Konnor's gonna step forward a little, and he's playing with a dagger in his claws, and he's gonna ask, "What has your boss been doing these past few weeks since he's left the last stop?"
Collecting things.
Things like, and I want to try to, I guess, intimidate him into actually answering this.
Well, stole something from a giant, something from an orc, Something from a dragonborn.
Steaming whistles.
So what you're telling me, he's got the feathers from all of
They're not
the
all
key
feathers,
guardians
but
now. Well, that's right.
Don't know about no feather, but got something.
You don't know what they are, but it looks like this was all he needed left, was the one from the elf.
This is what I told y'all.
Seems like it.
Iopix is the hottest one to catch. He'd leave him for last.
Right. So, if you were to go to the mesa right now, how long do you think that'd take you?
About a week to the west.
Is it on this side of the Great Mother River?
Other side.
Other side, yeah.
Other side, of course.
We're only a few days away from it, by the way.
I don't know so much. I trust this, what you're doing, Gideon. So, if you don't mind, what direction is the mesa from here?
Week to the west.
Is the mesa west of here?
It is.
So you've been to the mesa before?
Once or twice.
What kind of camp or structure does Wiley have set up there?
It's on the ground. It's a some sort of old complex.
Very old, isn't it?
Ancient.
Some bas relief on the walls. Looked like maybe some dragon type.
Had to clear out a bunch of dragon men.
Oh my.
Wiley wasn't too pleased about that.
Yeah, I know.
Mockrin's eyes are saucer plates.
What about you? What's going to happen to you now?
I mean, I think that's highly dependent on y'all.
No, we're going to leave you here. So, will others be by to rescue you, or you think you'll just die?
I don't know. Things have been changing a lot around the Black Smoke gang lately.
What would you say's changed the most?
Wiley,
What would you like to do right now?
I'd like to leave if that's all the same to you.
Where would you go?
Home.
Home? Where's home?
Black Ridge.
Is that where you grew up?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your favorite color?
Teal.
What's your name?
Jonathan.
Nice to meet you, Jonathan. Would you like something to drink? Are you thirsty?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna give him something to drink.
Thank you kindly.
Real quick, going back. Ignore all these questions. Going back to what you said. What kind of dragon folk did you kill in the temple? Color, specifically.
Green.
You ever been down south with Wiley? Helping him out, kind of like you helped him today?
How far south?
Far enough to find probably one of the strongest men that's ever lived.
Oh, great giant?
So you've heard of him or you've met him?
Heard of him. He might still be around, I don't know.
Did Wiley go visit him?
If he hasn't, he plans to.
He said Wiley's changed. How so?
Stronger. More sure of himself. He was always one for grand tales. I mean, you'd know that, wouldn't you, Zani?
When Wiley next finds you and asks you about us, what are you going to tell him? And I turn and look at Gideon while I await the answer.
I'd tell him not to underestimate y'all. Be on his guard.
When he asks you what our plans are, what are you going to tell him?
That you're gonna try and stop him. That it was a mistake to just leave y'all alive.
I'll go outside and catch up with Iopix.
I'm gonna knock him unconscious,
Alright.
and I'm going to put him in one of the cots. I'm guessing there's some kind of sleeping areas that we've had. And I'm going to untie him, put up my rope, pack up my bags. Let's head outside and decide where we're going from here. Are you guys gonna come out there with us?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Guys, he's not going anywhere for a while. He might go home, he might go back to Wiley, I don't care. Right now, Wiley knows we're on his tail. He knows we're coming after him. But I think Wiley right now is well prepared for anything we might throw at him. But, as the lady said to me, we go west. We follow the sun. So, if anyone's got a better idea, I say we mount up.
Other than making sure we grab everything we can from here, the things we got from those guys last night, a couple extra tents, we can pack it as much as Buttercup can take in a wagon.
Yeah.
Don't leave anything here.
All in the
I
wagon.
wonder
But what do you got?
if Iopix could help us find a faster way to get to where we need to go.
All right. Let's go over and ask.
And will he come with us?
Well, that's what we. Hopefully, Iopix is there while we're kind of explaining this.
Yeah, I mean, he's still hanging around. He seems to be in no hurry to leave.
Yeah, and I say, Iopix, we found out from Jonathan, this captive of ours, he's got all the keys. He's taken Strom's, Islays, and Orbals, So he's ready to go. So we're going to head west. If you have any suggestions on how we can stop him.
As we're currently equipped, unless it takes him more than a week to open that door, we're not going to catch up to him. And Cimarron will be released. Do you maybe know of any way we could get there in less than a week?
Well, there is one question he may not yet have an answer to. And if you find it, you may be able to head him off.
What question is that?
You need to find where he is sealed, for even I do not know that.
Where who is sealed?
Cimarron.
Red Dirt D&D Tales from the Caliban Frontier is Ash King as our Dungeon Master, Brooke Bullock as Macron Stoneshaper, Johnny Payne as Zonimus Dinar, Kiri Hester as Poppy Tealeaf, and I'm Michael Cross as Gideon Block. Our theme music was created by the cinemagician P.J. Castillo. Our incidental music comes from Jeffrey McBride. Our sound effects and additional music courtesy of Monument Studios, Andrew Sitcob, and TabletopAudio.com. We here at Red Dirt D&D could really use your help in getting the word out about us. If you like what you've heard, make sure to rate us and leave a comment. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and RedDirtDND.com. Tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D and share us on social media. And we have new content on our YouTube and Twitch pages. Just search for Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/RedDirtDND. We have several giving levels, including early listening to shows and access to our Discord server. Join us next time as we go deeper into the Caliban Frontier.
It will take you a couple of weeks to get there.
And how would he know us from an enemy?
Tell him. I need a good secret.
Stumped him.
Right? I need a good
Dogs
secret.
barking can't fly without umbrella.
They meet
Tell
who
him
gave
that
them the keys.
I don't think I'm going to be able to pay him back that $20.
I'm thinking. Give me a sec.
Is there something else Iopix has that he can give to
Like a ring?
Zonimus that's like special to Iopix other than the feather?
If we could just ride in on a few Pegasi, then that'd be really good. Because
Alright.
we could like.
Can you use a longbow, Zonimus?
Proficiency's weapon, crossbow, hand, long sword, yep. No.
No, not longbow.
You can have it, you just can't use
Row,
it.
crossbow, of course.
It looks really cool.
That's true.
So Coyote doesn't grant something like
I was
that?
gonna say,
right
you
now
are
on the fly in the editing?
I am.
He brought them together.
I know, right?
He brought it.
Okay, yes. So what I will say,
There's a special proficiency.
yes, I'm giving you a special dispensary
For this bow only.
for this bow only,
That makes sense.
Nice.
since Iopix is granting it
It's
to
the
you.
Yodi bow.
The Yodi bow.
It's a Yodi bow for who?
Well, so
Are you
this is,
yodeling?
are you familiar with oath bows?
Yeah, it's been a while, but my ranger had a. Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna go with that.
Oh, let's replay. Let's play this from the handoff. This is so good.
So, for a dwarf, and for basically for anybody out east, like dragons are like, I don't think they exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Rodents have unusual size. I don't think
they exist.
Yeah. You get 3 words. Follow the sun.
I'm not sure what that means.
Followed east, followed west. What's it mean?
Okay.
I guess it moves to the west, so maybe we're going to follow
The sun rises in the east.
Yep.
And go
travels and
exactly.
sets in the west.
Follow the sun.
So to follow would be to
The
go
rest of the frontier is out to the
Yep.
west.
Go west, my son.
Yeah. Okay.
Make of it what you will. Week to the west.
Is the mesa west of here?
It is.
What would you say is west of here? I'm screwed.
The mesa!
Which direction is west?
It's like when you take those question things at the job employment and they match to see if you're really lying instead. My eyes are saucer plates.
I feel like that one kind of slapped you guys. Like, that was the mesa. We know what the mesa is. We as players know what the mesa is.
Yeah, I think we as players knew what it was the minute the word mesa was said. We're in character
did,
discovering
but
it.
Yeah.
Brooke,
We're slapping it
Brooke
back
just
in the
seemed
face.
very surprised.
Maybe I'm just a good actor.
Maybe you're just a good actor.
So, if does anyone have any more questions for him?
Is there a way we could ask a question about like this blood of Cimarron thing?
Sure, if he knows the answer. I doubt he knows the answer.
I doubt he knows it, but like,
He's
could we
a
ask
pawn.
him, has Zonimus talked about his family? I don't know, not Zonimus, Wiley. Freudian slip.
God,
Giant Freudian slip. Anyway, I don't know, so I'm good.
You can ask, but he's a pawn. I don't know he's going to...
Right.
Where he is sealed, for even I do not know that.
Where who is sealed?
Cimarron.
That's where I went.
Duh.
I knew that's why he needed that crystal. I knew it's why he needed the crystal.
I don't want anybody in the audience to go, who is he talking about?
Yeah, I knew it's why he needed the
So
crystal.
as everybody packs up and like heads out, I forgot something back in the tent. I'll be right back.
Oh,
Catch
God.
up. You guys go on.
No.